let's get something straight. I don't care one bit about Mark Cuban's political views. He and I have argued about war, politics, and everything in between. And we see things from different sides. But you know what? I'm always right. And Mark is 100% spot on about PBMs. And he's not only complained about it, he did something about it. Pharmacy benefit managers have been robbing employers blind. Now I've seen it firsthand. I've run the analysis. Remember, I own part of a claims company. We see claims from places all over the country. I ran the analysis for myself, cost plus, and for our clients. Independent practices, physician-owned hospitals, and a ton of our captive members, okay? So I did the work with these little fingers. Now, across our captive, we had 92,000 prescription fills. We spent $16.8 million. It's not theoretical. Remember, not trend reports, not some consulting firm's guess. These are my paid claims. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Of those 92,000 scripts, 11,141 fills overlapped with Cuban's cost plus drugs. So let's call it 12%. Not a majority, very small minority, 12%. And you know what those 11,000 fills cost us in the traditional way? $503,000. Same drugs, same molecules, same exact prescriptions. But you know what they would have cost if I'd have been smart enough to use Cost Plus a couple of years ago? 14 grand. It's not a rounding error. That's not a discount. I don't get paid by Mark. That's a crime scene. That's a 97% difference. So let me say it clearly for everyone in the back. If you're still using a traditional PBM, you're paying 97% more for the same drugs. Not better service, not faster shipping, just a better cut for the middleman. Now let's zoom out. What Mark Cuban did, what Cost Plus does, isn't innovation. It's clarity. It's saying, here's the drug, here's the price, do you want it? No rebates, no clawbacks, no AWP, I'm sorry, you'll have to look it up, no fake math, just a price and a margin, that's it. It's what the PBM mafia doesn't want you to see because the PBM model isn't built on cost savings, it's built on confusion. It's built on formulary gains, spread pricing, and pretending a $400 drug is somehow $80 after rebates. If you just squint and don't ask any questions, that's what the US government wants. But we ask questions, don't we? Because we don't work for the health systems, and I sure as shit don't work for the federal government. I don't take orders. I did for a long time. But I sure as am not taking them from any pharmacy chains. We work for our clients, physicians and employers, and we follow the money. And when we followed the money, it led us to a simple conclusion. Mark Cuban is running a better PBM than the PBMs. Now, he doesn't call himself one, but it's not far off. He's adjudicating claims, he's managing logistics, he's setting transparent prices. He just doesn't do the part where you hide the profit and pretend it's savings. Let me be real blunt, because, you know, I'm not blunt enough. Cuban has the smallest drug list in the game, and he still saved us $490,000 with just a 12% overlap. So now ask yourself, what if Cost Plus could do not only mine, but 50% of yours? What if you had all of them? What if instead of paying $16.8 million, and I can attribute it to all 100% of my claim, I pay 2? 2 is way better than 16.8. What would I do with nearly $15 million of savings? How many nurses could our physician-owned hospitals hire, as long as the government's not trying to make that illegal? How many procedures could we expand? How much debt could we eliminate? How many patients could we finally treat without playing the pre-auth ping pong game with an insurer? This stuff that I'm teaching you guys isn't theoretical. This is what happens when you remove the middleman and align with transparent price reality. So here's my message to employers, especially most of you because you guys are dense and you don't listen. You're not in the benefits game. You're not in the benefits plan. You're in a pharmacy scam. And it's time to wake up. It's time to work with captives that look under the hood. It's time to work with people that actually do the work. Stop talking to the fancy people. I'm not talking to an MBA about surgery. It's time to fire your PBM and go Cost Plus, or better yet, go direct. Because Cuba's doing this not because he needs the money, because he doesn't. He's doing it because he saw what many of us saw. A $500 billion industry where no one can answer a basic question. What does this pill cost? Well, now we know. It costs $14,000 at Cost Plus, and it costs $503,000 at our old PBM. You choose. You decide. You decide on what you really want. And if you keep choosing that mother flipping PBM, don't pretend it's about cost control. It's about control, period. And you, my dear friends, the vast majority of you, have handed it to the wrong people.
Let me make this real simple. Healthcare is broken. Bloated systems, overpriced services, no transparency. Everybody knows it. Now you can continue to complain about it, or you can invest in fixing it. FICAP Fund is where independent physicians, operators, and rebels put capital behind startups that are actually solving the mess. No slow bureaucracies, no legacy thinking, just bold execution and asymmetric returns. You want access to the deals that don't make it to the mainstream? You want your dollars building the future of healthcare, not funding the problem? Then stop scrolling and start asking about FICAP Fund. Because the next unicorn in healthcare isn't coming from a health system. It's coming from the outside. This is venture with a mission. This is FICAP Fund. DM Invest for more information. Info@ficap.com.